What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, so Bob Arum done a recent interview. I think it was with Barbershop Conversations, the guy that's been causing Eddie Hearn a lot of grief recently. And he was asked about the possibility of a Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook showdown. Remember, there were a lot of rumors about that fight actually happening. Kell Brook attended the Amir Khan versus Terence Crawford fight. He done a number of interviews after saying that he wants the Terence Crawford fight. I think Terence Crawford even welcomed the fight. I think even Bob Arum said the fight can be made. Not anymore. Bob Arum responded to that question by saying Kell Brook means nothing anymore. Fucking hell. I mean, if you ever wanted confirmation that your career is going that way, that one line says it all. Kell Brook means nothing anymore. I'm a Kell Brook fan, and that even hurts me. I mean, I've done a number of videos in the last 12 months saying what the F is going on with Kell Brook. And Bob Arum just summed it up in one sentence. Means nothing anymore. 3 years ago, Kell Brook was an unbeaten welterweight champion, the IBF champion, a big 147 pounder. At the time, he had the world at his feet. Unbeaten champion, I would say top 3, top 4 welterweight in the world. Some motherfucker decided it was a good idea. Oh, it's even laughable thinking about it. It was a good idea to send Kell Brook, 147 pounder, up to 160 to fight Gennady Golovkin. Someone came to the table and said, we've got this fight, do you want it? Someone did that. And that was the beginning of the end. That, not the Errol Spence fight, no, that fight. Eddie Hearn couldn't deliver nothing. Kell Brook went to America, beat the unbeaten Sean Porter, and it should have been whoof, from there. Should have been liftoff from that moment. The fights after Sean Porter were, I can't remember, was it Jojo Dan, Frankie Gavin, and was it Beezer or something like that? Those are the 3 fights he had. And then through frustration of not being able to get a decent 147 pounder, they put him in with Golovkin at 160. Fast forward 3 years, and Bob Arum has now said Kell Brook means nothing anymore. I feel sorry for him. I can't lie to you. I don't know what Kell Brook's like personally. I don't know if it's his personal life that's causing this problem. But the fact is, when he was peak Kell Brook, he fought Frankie Gavin, Jojo Dan, and Beezer. That's what Eddie Hearn delivered. And then he delivered him Gennady Golovkin at 160. And then he decided to burn that motherfucker all the way back down to 147 and fight Errol Spence. And here we are now. Kell Brook means nothing anymore. I'm sure something's happened behind the scenes because I personally think it's a good fight for both of them. Kell Brook's a former world champion. He brings a bit of name value, and Terence Crawford can't get a fight. Terence Crawford doesn't want to fight any of these guys he's fighting. He wants to be over there and fight the PBC guys, and Bob Arum can't deliver that either. So I think it's a good fight for both. Yes, does Terence Crawford want to be fighting Furmans and Porters and Spence and Packett? Yes, but he can't. So the next best really is probably Kell Brook, former world champion, only been beaten by Spence and Gennady Golovkin. It's not that bad, beat Sean Porter. So I'm guessing what really has happened is that, and what happens with negotiations, the first thing is, all right, what does he want? That's that simple. How much does Kell Brook want? Kell Brook would probably give a figure. Bob Arum will like, we can't match that. And that's it. And now it's a case of means nothing anymore. Just because maybe he's not willing to pay what Kell Brook wants. I don't know what Kell Brook wants, but maybe he's just not. Maybe he's just not. I don't know. Again, Terence Crawford isn't that big a draw. We're hearing Amir Khan Crawford done 150,000 buys. Kell Brook, Crawford won't do that. It won't, unfortunately. But it's a big shame for Kell Brook hearing Bob Arum say that about him. It is a big shame. I mean, say what you want about Amir Khan, and I dig Amir Khan a lot. The fact is, Amir Khan's last 2 fights have made him £10 million. Fact, right? We know he got around 7 million, and I'm hearing he got around $4.5 million for Terence Crawford. Could be wrong. So I'm going to say round it off to £10 million for his last 2 fights. I would be astounded if Kell Brook has earned £10 million in his whole career. I'm not even taking the piss. I'm guessing he might have made around 15 max. No one tell me he's earned more than that. He hasn't. Won't believe you. I won't believe you. Amir Khan's done that in 2 fights. So maybe Bob Arum's right. As painful as it is for me, maybe Kell Brook doesn't mean anything anymore. If Kell Brook has heard that, and I'm sure he has, if you need fire up your ass, here you go. Bob Arum is just giving it to you. Go and do something with your fucking career. Please. If you have to leave Eddie, leave Eddie. I mean, leave him. Just go and do the last 18 months, 2 years of your career on PBC and just get some fucking fights. Because it's been a joke and an embarrassment to the point where Bob Arum says you mean nothing anymore. Peace.